Manjusha Radhakrishnan from Gulf News. I'm the entertainment editor. And today I have the makers and talent behind Citadel, Honey Bunny. It's a spy series and of course it has lots of style, stunt sequences, and it's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith meets, I suppose, Bourne Identity, James Bond. I would say James Bond. Would you agree with that? And I saw the first episode and I thought both Varun and Samantha were brilliant in it. I can't wait to see the remaining 5 episodes. But is this a part of your bucket list, to be a part of such a spectacle, you know, where you have to suspend belief?
Actually, we didn't have to suspend belief.
Oh, really?
Because it's Raj DK.
Yeah. Right?
Because I think what the first instruction was that don't suspend belief. All this has to look very believable. So that was the first director's cue that I almost got, that, oh, the way you're doing it is not seeming believable. So make it like I remember there was this thing we were shooting in this rundown kind of under construction building, and I had a gun and I had to go and keep checking rooms, and it was like almost 16 rooms that they made me check, and they kept retaking it. So I said, what happened? I said, there'll be another cut. So DK comes and says, no, it's not believable. It looks like anyone can come and shoot you at any time.
True that.
So I said, what do you want me to do? He said, no, really check the rooms. Forget the cameras there, really check the rooms. I was like, boss.
Did you just intellectualize a spy genre, super spies? Come on, this is one genre where I think you can get away with murder, you can get away with, like, say, you know, taking over the world, saving the day, geopolitics are thwarted. Why intellectualize the established genre?
No, it's more about giving it the right due, whatever genre we do. Even if I do a slapstick comedy, I want to give it the right due, so that there is enough detail spent on it, enough focus spent on it, because action films we're being very used to, right? Everybody has a say on it, they've seen enough. So you can see a trope coming, you can see a bad punch coming.
Sure.
Everybody can spot it, so when you're doing it, let's do it right.
How about you, DK? Would you like to add to that, and Sita as well?
Again?
Did you just intellectualize a spy genre, which is known to, like, you can get away with murder? That's the whole point of this, right?
No, fair enough. No, but I mean, there are very intelligent spy films as well. And see, this is actually the show, if I may say this now at this point, when it's ready for release. Even though it's set in the spy genre, it is really a human drama. It is about the characters, Honey, Bunny, and the child. It's really about their love story, their relationship, this family unit. Yes, the backdrop is the spy genre. So it only helps the characters, it only helps the drama when everything feels that much more real.
Okay.
So
and Sita, what about you? Did you take the help of AI? I feel AI is taking over our world. Yeah, ChatGPT. That's what Hollywood is grappling with. We have
She didn't write the script. She just went on ChatGPT and said, write a script.
No, I'm kidding. But was it tough? I mean, we are competing with AI right now, right, for writing. So how do you make sure that it is authentic? How would you say?
I write it myself. Every line, every action line, every dialogue.
Every dialogue.
A very simple answer. She doesn't know how to use ChatGPT.
She does. What she does is, she in a break, writing break, she'll ask ChatGPT one existential question.
Oh yeah, and she does that.
And confuse the ChatGPT. I like it. Try to humanize it.
I can't remember what I
sent us something about she made ChatGPT her friend for 2 days.
Oh, she did.
Right. I hope it's
What was that
was asking
existential
some deep questions.
profound questions. Confuse the ChatGPT. I love that. Samantha, you are really, I saw just the first episode. I feel there's more action coming. Yesterday, you took one for the action, for the women's team, where you said, Varun, Dhawan, of course, like it's a spy genre where male guys get the best kicks, right? But you also, I think you got your due here. How does that feel? Like, were you very particular? Did you tell the makers that if I'm in the series, it has to count?
I mean, it's Sita writing. I didn't have to. I mean, she's. I think that's why we need more female writers. As well. To do it for us. So I didn't have to say anything. In fact, I just was pressurized to do justice to the incredible character that she has written, because I know that there's a lot of Sita in Honey, especially the shooting and and the killing people's part.
Here comes the
latent rage.
No, but yeah, there's a lot of hers, and I know that because I know her personally very well as well. So there was pressure to do justice to this role.
Excellent. And was it cathartic to actually kill people? And I ask this, forget gun violence and all of that. That's a very serious debate. But just to play spies who can save the world, you're not answerable to anybody. It's not state sanctioned. Isn't it the most fun to play super spies?
It is. I think your first question that it is definitely on every actor's bucket list to play a spy. I remember having this conversation with Saif Ali Khan, and he told me this after Agent Vinod.
Yes.
He's like, what do I know? But it's been my boyhood dream to play a spy, always. But what do I know? And in like trademark Saif style. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I've also always wanted. This was like back in the day. So every actor would want to play a spy at some point. I'm glad that I'm in 2024, 2023, and I'm getting to play a spy in a Raj DK series, because that is the kind of spy that I had always imagined myself playing, a little bit more in realer situation.
Right. There are these tropes, right? Russians are the enemies, etc. in the West. We have Pakistan, of course. Did you try to deviate from the tropes?
Of course. First, we recognize the tropes. It's not just the bad guys in what you said, but also how a situation is handled, how a honey trap is laid, or how do you do a heist, or how do you do a counter-attack, what a chase means, what is a reverse chase. Pretty much all the tropes, and sometimes you play with them because it's fun. You know the trope and you play with it, and sometimes when it matters, when it actually counts, you don't rely on the trope. Hence, the situation becomes fresh.
Right.
It's how we feel. So, being aware of tropes is a must.
Is a must?
To write a good story.
You know what I found like very intelligent and very relevant in what they wrote, though it's based in the 90s, is that we are in an era where sometimes the good guy is actually the bad guy and the bad guy is actually the good guy.
For sure.
Because, fake news and perception creation and all these things have started coming in, which are easy. You can easily manipulate pieces to make it feel like that.
Yes.
And they played that very well in this series. They played on that angle. There's a thought in this, but they played on this angle that what looks good and shiny and nice from the outside could actually be the most dangerous thing.
Yeah.
And what looks dangerous could be actually trying to save you. So they played on that psychological thought very well.
Right.
And I always wondered when they wrote this, that was that inspired by some event that happened in the world, or was that just an observation of?
It's just a grayness. Most of our protagonists, if you see across, they're all very grey.
Correct.
Like if you take the family man, Shrikant Tiwari, he's possibly the worst husband, worst dad, worst
he's
friend.
awesome.
Not worst dad.
He's not a bad dad.
He doesn't even know their
Their
classes.
standard, their standard.
So
Listen, I
he's
don't
like-
know my kids' classes.
that's human.
I don't actually,
like it.
boys. They ask me.
Okay,
they-
he's not.
You're asking
What
a-
I mean is he's not
He's
the
not a
greatest
bad
dad.
dad.
He's not the greatest
Yeah, I'm saying
husband.
if you're asking a storyteller, so I was telling a story that changes.
Okay.
So I'm saying bad is a superficial thing, is what you immediately term him as.
Yeah.
Bad guy, bad dad, bad father, bad husband. But there's so much goodness and integrity and other values that shine in, balance out. So a grey character with depth, in focus on something, passion about something, suddenly makes the character elevate. So all these guys, Honey, Bunny, Shrikant Tiwari, Sunny from Parsi, everybody are
Even Baba
flawed.
for that matter.
Yeah, everybody's flawed, and they believe passionately on a philosophy that could be sometimes wrong.
Fair enough.
I think
Yes, please go for it.
I
Tell
think
me.
to go back to your question,
Yes.
we love writing reflecting today. We love, no matter what period the story is in, we love it to have parallels to the current situation. So there will always be references to the times we
There's
live in.
context. Basically,
Yeah.
there has to be context.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also about the chemistry between spies that I think, for me, Mr. and Mrs. Smith work because of their sexual chemistry.
100%.
You two, I know, are very platonic, great friends. How do you ensure that, that sparring works? That, I think, is what makes a spy series work, right? I don't know, you need to educate me. Like, did you guys have workshops? Where you like, okay, let's be,
you see
let's
it then.
amp this up a bit.
I mean, you see it for sure, right? I mean, I don't know because we didn't do it.
We didn't do much.
I think it was all in the writing.
It's definitely in the writing. I think there was a.
You wanted to say something, Sita?
They're great actors. They walk in on set and they turn on the
Of course,
charm.
they're amazing. They have a great body
No,
of work.
I feel. See, we are not the best of friends or anything like that. It's not like that. But I think there was just an instant chemistry that okay, this is your life. Okay, Varun, this is your life. We get it. I think we think about work in a very similar way. We approach work in a very
I agree with Varun that we approach work and a scene to how to play a scene like without any of the frills, just about how to make this look authentic and nothing else. I think that when that's why I instantly gelled or like instantly I found comfort in working with Varun was because all he was thinking about was how to make this scene amazing, how to keep it authentic. I remember there's this particular scene where it was just one scene where that was light between us, and I was actually laughing because he was so hilarious and he was so real and he was so comfortable with making like a little bit of a fool of himself, and I was like in splits. I was genuinely so taken by his performance. So I think that most of it was very seamlessly. You know which person?
Yeah, I remember.
I was just
I think the
dying.
one quality I want to point out in Sam, which I have, she doesn't have any insecurity in her scene. She has zero insecurity that if another actor is scoring more, but she'll be like, that's fine as long as the scene is great.
Okay.
Same
And
thing with
I
him.
think the same way.
Exactly.
Let the scene be, let the scene shine.
Yeah.
So I think we really connected on it. And also the first scene, the first day when we shot, the scene by the balcony or by the window we are doing, and she really tears into me and she's expressing why she wants to get into this business.
Yes.
And the first take she did was a very commercial take, like a super commercial take, which I loved. I was like a front bencher. And then they were like, no, just turn it down, make it real. But I enjoyed
Such a
it.
wet blanket, you guys. No. This won't fly
So,
in our
I'm
set.
watching her like this, but suddenly I start smiling. Because I'm enjoying myself. And they both are like, this is not what we're making.
It's not, definitely not.
But I enjoyed it, that was her instinct.
Yeah, but these guys asked,
Yeah,
like, let's amp it down a bit. We are not doing. How involved were the Russo brothers in the editing and the casting of this show?
Casting was up to us.
Okay.
Casting, of course, we ran it by them, but I think the whole thing was on us, like in pretty much do what you have to do.
So
what
you
want
had
to do.
creative control over the Indian version.
Yeah, completely.
Okay.
Like writing, directing, producing, editing. It's the edits we would send that we like. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, same thing. I mean, they were involved to the extent of giving us feedback and their point of view, but I would say most of the time they were all suggestions in the sense rather than any kind of interference. More like suggestion. They were like, could we do it this way? Because see, they also look at it from an international perspective. Like once we think we have a great edit and we share it, they look and say, okay, you know, this might be like if they had trouble understanding it, this might be, you know, troublesome for other people to understand. So can we make it clearer or something? Once in a while, the feedback would come like that.
Okay.
We'll be like, sure. I mean, yeah, we'll make it more accessible, easier
Fair
to
enough.
understand.
Citadel is a fan favorite. People love the show, but if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, for instance, it's not very flattering. It says style over substance, etc., and it's mixed, which I think for any work of art will be mixed, right? It'll be polarizing. Do you think you don't care for the reviews anymore, guys? Like this one, you guys did it for the, you know, just spectacle of it all. Like somewhere it's made on a great budget. You know you have the money, you have the backing, but do you really care whether the reviews are favorable to you all?
I don't know if it's
You do?
Yeah,
You
I don't know if it's a huge budget and stuff. It is a good budget for us,
Yes.
for us to make what we want. It's we're always making a film or a show as good as we can. Now, if that means wanting good reviews, yes. If that means the movie standing the test of time, yes. I'm not making a film or a show for numbers alone. We've never done it. We've never thought if this is how I make a film, it's going to open big. If you make it really well, it'll open big. So our idea has always been as writers, directors to focus on my desk, my laptop, our script, and how well can we do this, and how well can we shoot it. I don't think it's like let's make a spectacle and throw caution to the wind at all, ever.
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah.
Never so reckless. I mean, you guys
No,
are
and
never
further,
that
yeah,
reckless.
to dig deeper, I mean, it's not about any critics' reviews or any particular critic or anything. It's just about, it could be critics' reviews, it could be now there are so many people on YouTube and social media who actually speak their mind, and so it's about how much love the show gets. So it's about, are people loving the show? Are we hearing good stuff about it? Are they not, right? That's important. It's, at this point on OTT at least, what we are putting out, the real payoff for us is not the box office collections.
Yes.
It is the love that people give. So it is very
And
important.
the views, right? I mean, the parameters have
Views
changed for
yes,
web series.
yeah, sure. Views will matter, but that's a function of the marketing and the platform and how far they push it and all. But for us, if everybody watches and nobody says it's good, we'll be heartbroken.
You too. I mean, especially Varun, I have to say, he takes every review sportingly. Some movies I did not like of his anyway, so, and some ones I did.
We've had good discussions on
over
them.
it. Like he takes it, very few actors do. And I have to admit that you are I'm not scared of reviewing his films.
No, not at all.
I don't
Not
get a
at all.
hater.
I think it's you see, every actor does want an honest point of view at the end of the day. You want an honest point of view, but then sometimes what happens, you're like, this is kind of influenced by this, or this is influenced by this, and this, I didn't give this channel an interview, or I didn't meet this person nicely. You start thinking like that, all that happens, and that does happen sometimes. But there are few, and if I want to pay back the compliment to you, that I know for a fact that we share a good relationship, but you've always been very honest about what you felt, and I'm happy we have that kind of a relationship, because I get an honest feedback there.
Okay, fair enough. Last question. How do I take somebody called Honey and Bunny seriously, guys? What is that? You guys need to. I mean, shouldn't name have gravitas? This is so funny. So I was telling some of my peers who are from the West, they're like, Honey and Bunny, they are the spies. I found that hilarious. And I'm like, it's from makers and writers who are really quirky. They're not traditional. So I'm like, just wait for it, watch it. Let's not reduce them to just names. Did you also ask them the question, why Honey and Bunny? Very Punjabi nicknames.
Did you answer the question
I
yourself?
yeah.
It's made by writers and directors who are quirky.
Yeah.
It's made by them. I mean, you wouldn't expect anything else.
We needed a title that was unexpected, because the whole idea is, see that, going back to reviews and how people take movies, action films are the least reviewed or the worst reviewed in history in general, because action, the focus is to create some action spectacle, and what can I do stunts with. So in that process, story takes backseat automatically, because the focus is on how do I get to that action set piece. So action movies are already on a handicap when they come out. So our idea is that, why treat this like an action film? We'll treat it like a human drama first, and then see where the characters lend themselves and find themselves in the action set pieces. So having said this, a good review always gives you an insight on what you did. Of course, it doesn't help once it's released.
Yeah, for sure.
But later on, when you look at it and read it and actually see the points in which they are making, yes, that's the only those are the what do you call, top of the line feedback from users or people, that this is what I've been doing, this is how they see it, this is how I correct, this is how I can do. I get it totally. So yeah, I mean, Honey Bunny is I'm not, if I start thinking shit, what are they gonna say? It can never be not scared. Okay. And Honey Bunny for us is an endearment. We went for an endearment, like a darling, or Honey Bunny. So the whole movie is about the darling. Everyone is darling to each other, the kid, the parents. So the love story and the mother, father, everybody is a Honey Bunny, sweetheart. And then we also needed names for them. We are not Punjabi, so I did not think of Honey Bunny like that. In fact, Honey is a name. Bunny, the reason we did that was that a stunt man in Bollywood, they all have nicknames. So his real name is Rahi Gambhir in the film. But I wanted him to be, hey Bunny, come over. So just in the series. So it's a more relatable nickname.
Okay.
Honey has a deeper meaning in the sense that women have always been used as honey traps.
They have.
And they've
in the
been-
beginning you are.
Yes,
Like, that's
exactly.
how it
So
all
that's the
sets off.
trope. That's
Yeah,
the
it's a
trope. I said
yes,
you
for
take a
sure.
woman and you put him as a honey, but she proves to be more than that. So it's a satirical call to the fact that women have been honeys in spy genre.
Okay.
So we take it, own it, and then show a warrior from it.
Right.
So yeah.
You guys make Bruised and Battered look so good, both of you. I've seen very little of you. I'm sure it was painful, right? Both of you, are you still like bruised? You guys look very cleaned up.
No, now we are good.
Yeah, now we're
A
cleaned
lot of
up.
ice baths later.
How many ice
Many
baths
ice
later?
baths
No,
later. Many.
ice baths later.
No, but you're such committed artists, and I
They
really
are.
hope the series
Yeah, they're
takes
crazy.
some serious.
We didn't even have to use any stunt doubles for anything.
That's a
all the
tall
stunt doubles
ask.
were getting
I was,
paid for
Is that
free.
correct? I thought it was
Pretty much
misquoted.
pretty much they did all this,
Everybody
all
did
the
stunts.
action themselves.
Well done, you both.
Thank
Thank
That's
you. Thank you.
brilliant, and I really hope you get all the views.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.